shocked onlookers reacting to the tragic explosion of the Challenger space shuttle on January 28, 1986. Local men casually playing with human bones at the Colon Cemetery in Cuba, 1890. Young military cadets proudly posing for the camera in San Diego, 1943. Legendary rock musician Joan Jett walking on the streets of Los Angeles in the 1970s. President JFK being served authentic fettuccine Alfredo by its inventor Alfredo Di Lelio in Rome, 1963. The original 11 staff members of Microsoft in a classic group photograph, 1978. A bizarre whiskey dispenser machine designed for American offices, shown at a 1950s exhibition. Local women casually shopping at the supermarket while wearing hair curlers in the 1960s. Authentic Wild West saloon girls posing for a studio portrait in Texas, 1860. Gorgeous country music icon Dolly Parton, beautifully photographed in 1975. Conservative singer Anita Bryant immediately after receiving a protest pie to the face, 1977. A local street vendor openly selling ancient mummies right outside the Egyptian pyramids, 1865. A tough Klondike Old West girl confidently playing billiards in the 1890s. Classic Play-Doh in the 1950s, originally invented to remove coal soot from wallpaper. The early silk tea bag, a completely unintentional invention that forever changed how we drink tea. A rare vintage studio portrait of a lesbian couple taken in the 1890s. A vintage studio photo showing modest women's swimsuit fashion in Norway during the 1920s. Iconic actors Burt Ward and Adam West relaxing on the set of Batman, 1966. Stylish teenagers dressed in formal attire for a high school dance in the 1920s. Hardworking men manually laying massive wooden water pipes in Lewiston, Idaho, 1891. Stunningly beautiful young actress Ursula Andress photographed in 1952. A highly sexist vintage advertisement from the 1970s promoting two-tone men's shoes. Famous actor Bill Murray posing in front of the 25-cent peep shows of Times Square, 1970s. Eccentric artist Salvador Dali kisses Raquel Welch's hand after completing her famous portrait in 1965. Trailblazing Iranian princess Taj al-Sultani photographed in her royal garments in the 1880s. Young Anne Frank and her sister Margot smiling at the beach in Zandvoort, Netherlands, 1940. A shockingly racist 1900s advertisement from the Fairbank Company selling their cleaning soap. Pipe-smoking Frank Fiegel in the 1920s, the actual real-life inspiration for the cartoon Popeye. Gorgeous Italian actress Ornella Muti beautifully photographed in 1976. Former Union and Confederate veterans peacefully shake hands at the Battle of Gettysburg's 50th anniversary, 1913. A highly questionable vintage print advertisement for fresh lemons from the 1970s. Weary military soldiers marching into battle at the beginning of the 20th century. A brave boy manually collecting golf balls on a busy driving range in the 1920s. Hollywood legend Marilyn Monroe beautifully captured on film in 1959. An impoverished Irish mother and her young son pose for a somber portrait in 1880. One of the very last photos of legendary comedian Charlie Chaplin, taken in 1977. Dedicated American teachers passionately protesting against desperately low pay in 1930. Angry protesters actively taking to the streets of Miami Beach, Florida in the 1980s. Max Factor Jr.'s bizarre 1940s ice mask, specifically designed to reduce facial puffiness. A glowing Marilyn Monroe and playwright Arthur Miller celebrating on their wedding day, 1956. The terrifying original Ronald McDonald clown from 1963. Would this ruin your appetite today? A creepy, full-face swimming mask designed to strictly protect women's skin from the sun, 1920s. A military officer with a nuclear briefcase closely accompanies President Reagan in Moscow, 1988. Heavy, steel body armor worn by brave infantrymen during the brutal battles of 1917. Terrified people desperately trying to board a final plane during the evacuation of South Vietnam, 1975. Dedicated political activist Mordko Blinchikov of the Jewish organization Bund, photographed in 1912. Fearless animal trainer Jack Bonavita, sitting completely surrounded by his massive pet lions, 1905. Furious police officers confront Mike Tyson right after he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear, 1996. John Smith, a legendary Chippewa Indian from Minnesota who claimed to live 137 years. Famous model Vicki Dugan, scandalously nicknamed the Back in the 1950s for her low-backed dresses. Exhausted revelers slowly recovering from New Year's Eve on the steps of Grand Central Station, 1940. Elegant women skillfully playing golf in heavy, long dresses during the 1890s. Gorgeous actress Linda Carter proudly posing as the original Wonder Woman in 1976. Fatso and Thin Man, a classic visual comedy circus act from the 1890s. Confident women proudly showing off revealing new swimsuit fashions on the beach in 1922. A tough, resolute grandmother confidently holding a heavy hunting shotgun in 1956. A dedicated Kwakiutl Native American shaman conducting a deeply spiritual religious ritual in 1914. Two young women openly kissing at a vibrant, crowded party in the 1970s. Flawless Hollywood actress Ava Gardner on the film set of Singapore, 1947. A highly bulky, early hands-free telephone and camera apparatus from the 1920s. The massive Beautiful Legs contest spanning from Broadway to Coney Island, March 21, 1946. 558-pound Princess Lola receiving a live medical checkup on stage before bewildered crowds at Coney Island. Ecstatic, crying teenagers screaming uncontrollably at crowded pop concerts during the 1960s. Legendary escape artist Kolar, heavily handcuffed and securely shackled before a dangerous stunt in 1924. A simple, heartwarming vintage photograph holding the innocent message, "Let's be friends." Does this remind you of today? The tough, real-life Peaky Blinders spotted at a Brighton vs. Watford football match, 1920. A young Donald Trump proudly presenting the World Champion Wrestling belt at Trump Plaza, 1988. The massive, completely impenetrable, and most secure bank safe of its time, 1920. Baffled police watch actors dressed as Martians walking down Regent Street in London, 1964. Suave and handsome young actor Sean Connery beautifully photographed in the 1950s. A sobering medical photograph of a woman with a severe nasal deformity in the mid-20th century. A massive, chilling crowd gathered after the brutal lynching of a 16-year-old black man in Texas, 1916. A relaxed woman and her swimming instructor lying in the gentle surf on Midland Beach, 1898. A daring English prisoner shows exactly how he tried to escape Kolditz camp in Germany, 1943. Dedicated students intensely practicing dramatic expressions at an acting school in Australia, 1940. Brilliant engineer William English proudly demonstrates the world's very first computer mouse in 1968. Iconic blonde bombshell actress Jane Mansfield beautifully photographed in the 1950s. Stylish young girls confidently walking the historic streets of Amsterdam in the 1960s. Fierce Victorian women breaking stereotypes by practicing boxing in the early 1900s. French troops grimly execute a captured German prisoner of war in 1914. A talented American cowboy effortlessly demonstrates a complex rope trick with a lasso in 1959. Two proud local hunters displaying a massive man-eating python they caught in the Philippines, 1970. A highly controversial coat made entirely of monkey fur by French designer Guy Laroche, 1970. A passionate young artist diligently working on the sunny streets of San Francisco, 1938. Gorgeous American television actress and popular model Joy Lansing in the 1950s. Jane Mansfield and her husband Mickey Hargitay enjoying a beautiful family vacation in Italy, 1962. A proud Ethiopian Mercy woman displaying her massive, traditional clay lip plate. literal X-ray of a terrified girl who swallowed her diary keys to hide her secrets. Bizarre 19th century trick photography showing a creepy but clever juggling head's optical illusion. A formal portrait showing a group of young men in elaborate theatrical costumes, late 19th century. The proudly famous Madame Clémentine Delay, the successful bearded lady of France in the early 1900s. Miserable prisoners locked securely in the wooden pillory at the New Castle County Courthouse, Delaware, 1900. The early humanoid robot Barbarossa standing proudly with its brilliant developer in Germany, 1909. A touching moment as President John Kennedy lovingly carries his daughter Caroline's doll, USA, 1963. A truly horrifying historical photograph showing alleged cannibal women during the deadly Soviet famines of the 1920s. A defiant business-as-usual sign hangs proudly on a bombed shop in London during World War II. A grim medical photograph capturing a patient suffering from severe smallpox in 1928. Heartbroken athlete Josie Bartel crying at the 1952 Olympics because surprised organizers lacked his national anthem. An experimental American M3 submachine gun with a bizarre curved barrel for safely shooting around corners, 1953. An exceptionally rare and heartbreaking photograph taken directly on board a ship transporting slaves in 1882. The deeply chilling very first tests of the electric chair on a condemned American prisoner, 1956. Beloved actress Natalia Oreiro shining brightly in a vibrant photo shoot for her hit TV series, 2004. Frank Sinatra casually walking in Miami Beach with his stunt double, 1967. Do they actually look alike? The massive Boeing 2707, a highly ambitious American supersonic passenger aircraft project from 1971. A sobering medical photograph of an Indonesian man suffering from advanced leprosy in 1984. The incredibly high standards of the past, where even window washers wore sharp suits on the job in 1905. A hilarious and highly unusual mass dry land swimming lesson taught in Toronto, Canada, 1908. Gorgeous pop culture icon and talented singer Nancy Sinatra rocking her signature style in the 1960s.